Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by...
Well, you went from all that last week to nothing this week.
Oh, man.
Ooh, you guys are waiting on Ant to see what Ant does?
No.
Ant ain't gonna do nothing.
I show up to a wedding to turn out, though. Okay?
That's a lie. That's a lie.
What you mean that's a lie? I got footage. Okay?
What footage you got?
Hey, my boy told me my whole girl Jessica wedding was turned up.
Were you I don't remember you dancing.
Yes, I was dancing. Yes, I was. When it goes to weddings, parties, I'm in there, baby.
I mean,
I will call the guys. I will
you're
call
man of your words, so I'm not going to question you, but I just don't personally remember.
I will dance everywhere, but I was getting in. It was a moment.
You were like Johnny Rice yesterday.
Yeah, we was talking about it at lunch today. We was like, man, that was like the best wedding. It was live.
That's crazy to say to a guy whose wedding you attended after that.
I've been to both of y'all wedding, okay?
I think Toby's was liver. The reception was liver than ours.
Yeah.
Because we had too much going on.
You know what? Toby had his before Shawn. Then Shawn had his like the next month. He took all the energy and the Toby. Trying to go back to back.
My hamstrings were still sore from the first one. So yeah.
I think it was just we had too much going on our night.
Yeah.
We had way too much going on.
Too high of a budget. Everybody,
welcome to the Porterway podcast. Y'all should know who's on here. Ant, Shawn Zittel, Carson A. Merck almost didn't make it.
You're right. Of no fault of my own.
You look like you wearing you on your hat.
The monkey.
Yes,
my hair gets because my hair doesn't. It takes a while to get to a point where it lays down, so it does kind of poof up, it kind of just stands up a little bit. But now my friend does some artwork, so she put it on a hat. And here I am.
Now Carson, if you said that same statement to him, that'd be one to cancel Porterway podcast. America.
But it looked like him.
No, it doesn't.
I accept it. I definitely had some Curious George vibes when I was a kid.
Yeah,
bit of a troublemaker, but yeah, we're here. You're still out there.
I got headphones now, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, how about that?
Okay, Wi-Fi banging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Upgrading over there, man. You upgrading over there, Shawn.
I'm trying. We got some nice posters back here.
Okay. What's the newest edition? Newest edition. No new edition posters?
I think which one was the newest edition? It was this little that little Morales Barrera.
Oh, okay.
Morales Barrera. Okay. Yeah. Very interesting stuff for the fans. I know they love this.
Yeah. Keep the people interested. Keep them guessing.
Didn't Carson just give you a poster?
Oh, that's true.
I was thinking.
Was you thinking that?
Yeah, but I ain't want to say nothing.
It's over his bed. That's where that one is.
Yes.
I hope not.
Watching over. By the way, that poster was Thurman or Porter Thurman. Yeah. I have not put it up yet.
Yeah.
Oh man, look how you do, Carson.
Thank you, Carson.
Of course, autograph nonetheless.
And you won that, right, Carson? You won it.
Yeah. So the story.
My friends is knuckleheads. Stay out.
So the quick backstory. So they had Shawn leading up to the Thurman Porter fight do some Q&A, a live Q&A on Twitter. And so I asked something. And in fairness, I think it was in regards to Consequence the rapper, because Shawn and I were debating that at the time. And so afterwards, Shawn obviously didn't answer it. And so Showtime Sports afterwards was like, hey, we see you're a big fan of Shawn Porter. We'd love to send you an autographed Thurman Porter fight poster. And I was like, oh, okay, here's my address. Send it out.
They just randomly chose him, which is just crazy.
Yeah. So then they sent it, and then my wife was cleaning out a closet and was like, yeah, we have a poster in here. And I was like, oh, okay. So I know Zittel got the setup in the background and thought he'd enjoy it.
Funny, Shawn, you said it's probably over my bed. I used to have, as a teenager in high school, a Miguel Cotto poster over my bed. And people would come in my room and be like, what the hell is that? Why do you have this shirtless man hanging over your bed? And I was like, I never thought of it that way. I always thought.
But after that, you thought of it every day that way. It's just holding.
Yeah. And up until now, when I put Shawn Porter, Keith Thurman in the same spot.
That would be excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it was a great fight.
His lady would kill it.
Or should be stoked. We don't know.
Yeah. So we're in like this 2-week stretch last week and then going into this week where there's a lot of boxing, but there's not like a lot of elite high headline, like top guy versus top guy boxing. It's kind of a weird time.
Hey, you know what's interesting that I've learned from now being able to be a part of the like TV side of business a little bit. Now I'm not gonna front like I'm all the way in the business and all that kind of stuff. But when you see a lull in sports, look at what's big going on. So like when the Super Bowl goes on, there's nothing else going on. The Olympics right now. So the Olympics have been on for about it'll be about 2.5 to 3 weeks next week. And so most of the other sports, they will have a little lull in their seasons or whatever. And so that's kind of the same with boxing. Like boxing doesn't really have anything big going on right now because for whatever reason, boxing will compete with boxing, but boxing won't compete with the Olympic Games. Like I'm not mad, but I'm just saying like it don't make sense if you have the wherewithal to not compete with the Olympic Games, understanding how big it is. You're not going to compete with the Super Bowl. Why are you competing with one another? Like let's all get money. Let's all help the sport.
We are the world.
Yeah, it's like stop fronting on each other, trying to,
Well, they call.
There's no secret. I fight for PBC, but I'm not gonna front like and say like Top Rank ain't like PBC got the best fighters and Top Rank ain't got no fighters and DAZN ain't got no. Like I'm not gonna hate on it though, but I'm not gonna hate on it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
there's one coming up, by the way. I think it's August 14th, where I was looking ahead and there's like 7 fight cards on, and I was mad.
It's just, I don't know. I don't really, I mean, and we've talked about that before, but that's always bothered me. And then I think, Carson, you kind of took it to another level in terms of, how outwardly you express yourself about it. So
you mentioned one other random sports thing before we get into boxing. I witnessed I've never seen this before in life. So went to an Arizona Diamondbacks game yesterday in Arizona, playing the Dodgers.
Boy, you getting around.
I was literally there 24 hours. Saw a baseball game, soccer match, and I was back.
Just like when we did the Cardinals.
Exactly. I was there and I was back. But they so the Dodgers have a pretty popular fan base. They travel well. Diamondbacks, one of the worst teams in baseball, not great attendance, is what it is. So we're watching this game. Think about this for a second. We're all sports fans. So a Diamondbacks fan at his home stadium tried to start a "Let's Go D-backs" chant, and he got booed because there were more Dodgers fans than Diamondbacks fans. So he's literally in his own team stadium and tries to start a chant for him and got booed by the entire stadium. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That's like a West Coast thing.
Yeah, the Dodgers roll deep.
No one really lives. No one's really from here.
Yeah.
Like if you came to a UNLV game, it will go down like that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, that just has to hurt the soul. But West
Coast is full of front runners. Wind will show up. You lose, we ain't coming, baby. That's the West Coast for you. This is facts. The West Coast is like that.
They like that in Florida too.
Okay. I don't know about Florida.
They
like that in Ohio?
No.
We ride or die.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Browns are always the talk of the town, and we've had some down years.
Hey, what's crazy is we'll kill our team before we let anybody else kill our team.
That's the East Coast thing.
Yeah. Like we'll trash our team, but if somebody else start trashing them and they ain't got on one of our jerseys, we fronting on them. Like
that's like Zittel said. I have buddies that are Jets fans, and they'll be like, "Oh, we're so garbage." Somebody like, "Man, F the Jets." Like, hey, wait a second.
Gang green.
Yeah.
You
gotta protect.
My dad was the biggest Jets fan, so God bless his soul, man. They made that man suffer his whole life. But
hey, I want to go through the Olympics right quick. Through our team, because I feel like our team did very well this year. Mm-hmm. At the moment, we have guaranteed 4 medals. We have Oshae Jones still in there. We have Keyshawn Davis still in there. Regan is still in there, and also Ricardo Torrez is still in there. And all 4 of those fighters, along with everyone else, really did perform. I'm not gonna really judge the performances or anything like that, but I do kind of want to tell a little bit of the stories because I feel like there were two fights that really stood out in my mind in terms of fighters who could have moved on and did not. The first one was the young lady that we had fight. Let me grab her name right quick.
Jenny Fuchs.
No, Jenny. I thought Jenny fought. So Jenny fought well, but Jenny did not fight well enough to win her match. I thought her first round was close. And here's what I want to say about the Olympic Games. Kind of what I see and what I've known for when I fought as an amateur as well is it's kind of like whoever wins the first round stands a good chance of winning the entire fight. Yeah. And I kind of felt like that was the situation. And that actually is going to be my story with the other two fighters that I have. But I felt like the kind of the separation for Jenny's fight. When you lose the first round, it's kind of, you only have 3 rounds. So it's like, it changes your boxing style. And a lot of times, a lot of the international fighters have more of a counter-punching style. And it kind of, once whoever loses that first round, they're forced to kind of fight to win 2 more rounds and fight even harder to kind of get the judges' attention back. And I kind of felt like that was the situation with Jenny's fight, but her fight kind of played out the way that it played out. Was kind of hurt to see that she wasn't able to move on. I had a lot of hopes for actually I said 5 medals. I was expecting to get 5, and we're at 4 right now, guaranteed. And I'm kind of greedy, so I was expecting 5 silver or gold. And so to see that we're definitely gonna have 4 medals. We just don't know what medals those are gonna be yet. But let me speak real quick to Rashida Ellis. I thought so. This is the classic case. I thought that she won her first round of her match. I thought that she did everything she needed to do to win that first round. She comes out and she's boxing very well, pressuring the girl that she was fighting. And somehow she dropped the scorecards in the first round. And then I think from there, she felt like she had to really force things. And when you force things in the boxing ring, a lot of times that's not your boxing style or that's not your energy and your rhythm. And it causes you, people we all know, like when we force things in the ring, we take too many chances. And I think that was the case with her fight. The other fight that really stuck out to me in terms of a fight that I thought could have gone differently, and there's no bias here, but Delonte Tiger Johnson. I was pissed that he did not win the first round against the Cuban fighter, last name Iglesias. He won the first round, and so here's my thing, and now I'm gonna keep it real. When his first 2 fights, the first fight that Tiger had was really close. He ended up winning 3-2, and it was one of those decisions where I felt like it could have went either way. Got dropped, and he ended up getting dropped. And so another thing, I mean, we can go on and on. So in the Olympic Games, getting dropped doesn't guarantee that round being a 10-8. The judges are still scoring that round 10-9 just in the favor of the fighter who caused the knockdown. So not like the professional ranks. And I'm not mad at that. The other thing that's kind of weird to me is when you get a point taken in the amateur at the Olympic Games, it does not automatically make the round 10-9. So you can get a point taken away and still win the round 10-9. I kind of feel like that's a little off. I feel like if you get points taken away, you was doing something dirty, you need to really be punished for that, for the sake of words, and the point should be taken from you, and it should be an automatic 10-9 for the other fighter. So those are really, I think, the 2 things that I see. I know another thing that may, if people out there have been watching the games, another thing that might catch y'all by surprise is when you see a guy get caught with a clean shot and then you see the referee step in and give an 8 count. And I've had to explain this on air quite a few times that in the amateur system, safety first. It's not like the pros where they're going to let you fight with your heart and all that kind of stuff. So in the amateur system, when a ref may see you take 2 or 3 clean shots, they're going to step in and give a count. We saw yesterday, Torrez caught his guy with a clean leaping left hook, and the referee steps in and gives his guy a count. Not the worst punch to get hit. I mean, it wasn't a vicious punch. It didn't wobble, dude, and all that kind of stuff. No, actually, no, dude did wobble a little bit, but he didn't go down. And I think a lot of people might expect, like, he didn't go down. Why is he getting counted? the number one thing in the amateur system is safety first. And I do respect that. That's kind of where I come from, you know. So, but let me get to Tiger Johnson's fight. I've been watching these fights, and what I do is I try to not give, I really don't want to give the audience this is what's going to happen. But I kind of feel like I know what's going to happen, right? So Tiger's first fight, he wins 3-2. He ended up getting knocked down in that fight. And when he won the fight, I was like, ew, that could have went either way. I'm glad he got it. I feel like that's a justified decision. And then it made me think, like, maybe I was like, these judges are going to give these Americans a fair shake this year. We can see it right here. Duke's first fight was close too, and he ended up pulling his fight out. So it gave me confidence that the judges might be on our side. But the thing I saw in Delonte Johnson's first two fights, he wasn't consistent, and he seemed to be like gassing out near the end of the second round and maybe halfway through the third to the end of the third round. It was like he just didn't have the pop that you saw in the first round. It just kind of seemed to fizzle out kind of quickly in the second and third round. And that happened in both his fights. And so I didn't say this online, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, Tiger has a great jab. If he's able to come out here and use this jab and control this Iglesias dude, keep him on the end and outbox this dude, if he wins the first round, we got it. I just need you to win this first round. I need you to be consistent with this jab. I need you to do your thug thizzle for Cleveland. And he came out there, and that's exactly what he did. My dude was putting combinations together. My dude was using this jab, and he was looking great. And you know, I'm on air, so I got to keep it all in. But I'm like, and it's a Cuban fighter, so I'm like, you know what I mean? And it kind of like when he comes back and he loses that first round, 4 judges gave the Cuban fighter 10, and 1 judge gave Johnson 10. And so like now it's like he's got to fight back. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, man, this is going to be tough. It's not going to be good. And he kept it really close. He comes out. I said, he doesn't really have to do much more than he did. He did what he needed to do. It just that round did not go his way to the judges. And then I think he ended up getting more of the judges' favor in the second round. But just because of the way that the judging is, he ended up losing a 3-2 split, I believe, to the Iglesias kid. And I'm not giving him this love because he's from Cleveland and because it's the Portaway podcast and all that. I really felt like that was a fight that we should have had. I felt like that was one of those Cuba versus USA battles that went our way, and we got kind of the raw side of the deal. You know what I mean? So, and I'm also really paying attention to analyzing everything. I'm gonna tell on the Olympic Committee and the world judges. Here's the thing, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So here's the thing: this Iglesias kid is coming. This is his 4th Olympic Games, opposed to Tiger Johnson's 1.
Yeah,
they've seen this dude. excuse me, not just in 4 different quads, but now they've seen this dude in 4 different World Championship games, 4 different Pan American games, and so on and so forth. They know this dude, and I'm not saying there's a bias there, but if they know him, they know his style. If somehow, some way, whoever he's fighting doesn't do anything in these judges' eyes that's complicating what they know him to do, if they feel that he's comfortable, if they feel like he's operating the way they're used to him operating, Shawn Zittel is messing up.
No, I'm here. I'm good.
Yeah, Shawn, don't worry about it.
All right. But if they don't see that kind of stuff, I really do feel like they're drawn to what they know, and they know these fighters because of these fighters going to multiple Olympic Games and things like that. And I don't mean to say that these judges are biased. I just mean to say that when they're used to seeing that fighter, they're used to seeing that fighter's style and so on and so forth. I feel like when they don't see that guy disrupted at all, or to a certain degree, they may feel like he's doing what they're used to seeing him do. And I feel like, psychologically they see him winning fights and no credit. No, I'm not taking any credit from Iglesias. He's an awesome fighter. Yeah. And he's in the championship against an awesome English fighter. This dude, Pat McCormick, is next. If he turns pro, he's next on the professional level. This is his second Olympic Games, I believe. So it's been an amazing ride so far.
What you mentioned about the judges and maybe having just kind of a predisposition of, I know this guy. We've talked about that before on here about professional judges. So it's not just the Olympic judges. It's like your fight versus Zugas was one we brought up, where it's like, wait, that doesn't look like the Shawn Porter I'm familiar with. So it just kind of throws everything kind of out of whack. But it's I think that's to an extent just a natural human instinct. But
it's like
tough. But
with the Olympics, Sean, it's almost like you have to get the first round.
Yeah. No.
It's fight's your fight.
Yeah.
You got to
because you can't come back. It's not like you have 9 rounds to come back. You got 2.
Well, that was what was taught to me when I was in the amateur system. It was you have to go out there and make these judges take notice to you, and if you get their attention, then more times than not they'll be more I don't know what word I want to use there.
Liable to give you maybe the
to push the buttons for you because they saw you take control. They saw you go out there and pushing the pace and so on and so forth. So
yourself on
that one, it kind of hurt me, man. It didn't hurt me on a personal level. It hurt, honestly, it hurt me just like on a boxing level because I felt like if he's consistent and if he boxes the way he can box, and out of those 3 fights that he had here, the third one was the one where he really put it down, and then it didn't go the way that he needed it to go. So,
and these are probably the 4 fighters that are left are probably who you would have expected.
Yeah.
Torrez is one. I'm happy for him. So for anyone that doesn't know, is the super heavyweight. So he was very highly regarded.
Super heavyweight.
Yeah. How awesome does that sound? Like you're not even just the heavyweight, you're the super heavyweight. But he was highly regarded and then has a knockout loss in a tournament to a older fighter. Like Richard Torrez is like, he's young and he gets knocked out by a grown ass man. It was a big knockout. I won't sugarcoat that. And then it kind of not lowered expectations, but people were like, I don't know. That's going to be kind of tough to bounce back for. He's done great so far. So I'm happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Same thing. Same sentiment for me, Carson. I was happy to see him. I would have suspected that Delonte was headed towards the medal and not Richard, just to get back to Delonte a minute. He has a lot of talent. So despite him, not getting the decision, I think he still has a bright future because his hand speed when he turns professional. Mm-hmm. But for Torrez, being an undersized guy, being the smaller guy almost every time he goes out there, and then that scary KO really made you worry for him, fighting these bigger, older guys with more professional experience. So for him to overcome and to get to a medal, and we might even be looking at a potential gold medalist in the same division Anthony Joshua won the gold medal in, and Vladimir Klitschko. Mm-hmm. That would be amazing. And that's why I said he's got some Shawn Porter in him. He's a little...
He did not stop last night. Yeah. I mean, it was the last fight we called last night, and all the energy went. I was done after his fight, and I was glad that we were done after his fight because I don't remember the scores verbatim, but he needed the last round, and he did what he was supposed to do. He stayed on this dude. Was it a Cuban fighter? No.
Yes.
It wasn't a Cuban.
He's the first Cuban or first American since Andre Durrell to beat a Cuban in Olympic boxing. So
he stayed on the Cuban fighter. He outworked the Cuban fighter, and I think that at the end of the day, the judges were just like, "We got to give it to this kid, man. He has no quit, and he's showing you what you're supposed to see at the Olympic level, like good boxing, and then heart. You know what I mean, and the will and want." To win a gold medal, So I was really
happy. That's what he said when he was on with us about heart. He was like, I may not be the biggest guy, but like I'm a hustle. I have the heart. And to anyone that's maybe confused as to why we keep harping specifically on Cuban fighters, they're notoriously like the best.
Yeah,
amateur boxers. Like
before Torrez beat the Cuban, they were undefeated at the Olympic Games this year.
Yeah,
and they're usually like that. Yeah.
So it's just like they are historically and notorious.
Yeah. It's out of respect.
Yeah, elite amateur. So when you beat a Cuban fighter, you did something.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess we could stay here for I don't know how long we've been on yet. We haven't gotten the update, but I mean, we can honestly we can talk Olympics all day and all night because that's where my heart is. Yeah. I don't know if I said this on the podcast. I think I did some episodes ago, but I really have been wanting to get back involved with the Olympic program since the 16 games, and it just happened that this year is a year we've been able to get back. I've been able to get back involved, and then out of nowhere, you know, the NBC thing happens for me with Ring City, and then they asked me to do the Olympic Games. So, I mean, I could stay here all day, and I could talk to why those other countries are so successful and what we can do to be more successful, all this and that. I'd rather give that to the Olympic Committee here and allow them to assess it, and if they agree, if they want to talk anymore, so on and so forth. You know, just I'll give all that because I want our Olympic teams to get back to the way they used to be.
Yes.
I looked it up, and I know the years escaping me. I think the 76 Olympic team won 11 medals.
Wow. I know Sugar Ray Leonard, that was the team he was on.
Yeah, no, 76. I'm thinking, so then it was the
84 with Mark Breedlund, Evander Holyfield.
Yes, sir.
Burnell Whitaker.
Team.
You ain't Shawn Zittel.
I'm trying to be him.
I don't know all 11 of them, that's for sure. Yeah. I don't know. That's for damn sure.
So 84, we won 11 medals at the games, 9 of which were gold. So that kind of paints the picture to the prestige that we once had in the games. And I do think that there's things that can be done to get back there. I think that I came up with this theory that I really do feel like those other countries started to study us. I think they started to learn from us. And I think unlike us, they remain amateur. And I think the other side of that is they keep the same programs. They keep the same coaches going through quad after quad, teaching the same techniques, the techniques to beat the Americans and all that kind of stuff. And
sometimes not always by choice, Shawn. They stay amateur until their 30s. Some of these countries they come from, you know, it becomes tough to become a professional. They don't allow you to.
Yeah.
So they're sending 29, 28 years olds against our kids, against our 21 year olds.
Did y'all see Keyshawn
21, 22, 23?
20, yeah. You're right. I was trying to make it sound better, Carson. Like we're bigger.
No, right around there.
You act like you're not American. We're gonna kick you off the island.
Man, our kids are 18 fighting 32-year-olds.
That's how it is.
What the hell?
I seen a 13-year-old out there last week.
Did y'all see Keyshawn Davis and his knockout?
Hey, yes.
That's the man. I'm telling you that's the best one out there. Dude.
After that one, I was like, I got a feeling the Olympic Committee is going to rethink having these professionals fight amateur, or excuse me, having these professionals fight amateur.
When he whopped him like that?
Yeah. And he's not that far removed from the amateur system. Yeah. But the fact that he is a professional now, they may take a look at that because I mean that one was vicious.
But the dude was right there, Shawn. The dude was in that fight.
Yeah. But,
hey, he took that first round.
Yeah.
And started doing his thing.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming though.
I like him.
I love it, man. This is like you were talking about, Shawn, with those old Olympic teams. This kid, Keyshawn Davis, you know, he has a chance to be that Olympic hero like Leonard, like De La Hoya. Mm-hmm. You know, if not on the huge scale they were back when there was like 8 television channels when Leonard did it. But still, it looks like if Keyshawn can pull off this gold medal run, unlike what unfortunately happened with Dre, where Andre Ward, the last gold medalist we had, where he didn't get the mainstream recognition he deserved coming home with that gold. I think if Keyshawn could get to that gold medal match and beat the Cuban Cruz, I think he's going to get some star recognition coming back home. And I just love to see us, a little bit of a page from the old days. This great American kid, who might get to the gold medal match, make a name for himself.
What I like about it, you got platforms like us pushing him out there. We're gonna do our best. Yeah, because I know a lot of you guys are like, are y'all still talking about the Olympics? Hey, check this man out.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah.
He rocked this dude.
Hey, he's called the businessman.
Hey,
Like Jay-Z said, he's not a businessman. He's a businessman.
He handled business. Hey, my man's the real deal, man.
Hey, listen. He has this confidence, and I saw it when we had him on the podcast.
Hey,
I know y'all saw it too.
Already.
I know. All right, yeah. I'll tell him myself. Just keep it moving. Don't do that. Don't do that. But did he post that on the channel, or did he just holler at us on that?
By calling out Rolly, I think he posted on his Instagram.
No, he definitely just talked to us.
Okay. Yeah. So, but no,
we might edit that whole part out right there.
No, we won't. Well, no, we won't.
Okay, that's fine.
Exclusive.
I just don't want to air
because it speaks to what I'm about to say. When we had him on the podcast with everybody, I could see that there was like this type of confidence from him that just was on another level. And if y'all remember when we first did the episode, we were like, hey, we're gonna, you guys go around one by one and just go at it. Who's first? And it got quiet. And he's the one that stepped up and said, ladies first. And I was like, yeah, man, that's real gentleman. Like I should have thought of that. But then when it comes back around to him, it's like, all right, boom, all eyes on me. Let me tell y'all what's going down. And let me tell y'all who I'm looking at. I ain't looking at nobody else but this Cuban. Ain't nobody in my way but this Cuban. And to this point, he's acted as such. Mm-hmm. He's the guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy. And then we got Duke Regan.
We don't want to put too much. Go ahead. We don't want to put too much pressure on you.
Go get
he's
the
there
damn goal.
To do it. Yeah, he's there to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Then we got Cool Duke Regan. I can't call him Cool Boy, but this dude, Duke is. I like Duke.
Yeah,
Duke is my guy.
Duke is my second favorite. I got to roll with Keyshawn my first.
It's a toss up for me.
Oh, okay.
It's a toss up for me. I actually have Keyshawn. Then I think Oshae would be my.
Okay.
Oh, we just gonna get to her. Yeah, we will.
I mean, we're to the point where all four of the remaining fighters and the ones that maybe didn't get to this point,
right?
They're great fighters,
right? But Duke is cool. Duke has stepped it up one fight at a time. He got the first one was a tough one. He got that one out of the way. Got the rust off, and then he got to work, and he's been working ever since. So right now we have 4 athletes in the medal round. The semifinals, guaranteed bronze, and I'm looking at 4 gold or silvers.
Can I ask something? Because I'm not. So math isn't my strong suit.
Yeah,
and I know they're guaranteed medals. How does that work? Because the semifinals is 4 people, right?
Yeah, they don't do a box off for that bronze.
So 2 people get bronze.
So you'll when they do the podium, you'll have 2 on each side with the bronze.
Because I kept seeing that and I was like, okay, I'm sure they're not making like a mistake. It's just consistently. And then I was like, wait a second, that math's not adding up. There's 3 medals. I'm not sure how this works.
Hey, Carson, I was like, somebody getting a first round bye?
Yeah, that's what I didn't know. I don't know, but yeah, that makes sense.
I would like to see a box off for the bronze. I think that.
Yeah, why not?
Am I too competitive to want that?
No, I
don't makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Especially, I was like, man, I'm not really following that, but
and Oshae,
great.
Hey, shout out to her because she was expected to get to the medal round, and I imagine that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, instead of going out there as the underdog, or hey, just fight your best, and winning some fights is a plus. But she was expected to maybe get a gold medal, and she's lived up to expectations.
Yeah. I'm doing the best I can to keep my bias out of the way, and I keep checking myself because I was super excited after we had spoke to everybody, and I was like, man, I got a good feeling about this Olympic team. I saw so much confidence from this team, and I saw international experience, which is what I think has been another deficit that we've been in previous quads. But I saw a lot of confidence, and so if you guys pay attention, you see Duke. He's talking to the camera as he walks out. He goes in there. He's in the zone from the opening bell. Duke. He's hardly breathing. He goes back to the corner and his mouth is closed. And he's breathing with his mouth closed in between rounds. Just cool all the way across the board. Maintains his poise. Doesn't get too excited. Punches when he's supposed to. Patient fighter too. I think he's one of the more patient fighters of the guys we got left and women that we have left. But he's able to use his speed, his technique, and put it down. Torrez, like he said it on the podcast. I may not be the biggest, I may not be the tallest. I got some power. I'm not going to brag about my power, but I will say that I have some power, but I would guarantee you what I do have is heart. And if you see him going into the last round of this fight against the Cuban in his last fight, he's tied and he does nothing but punch that last round because he knew that was what it would take. And so I just saw something different coming from this team. And even like you said, even though everybody didn't make it there to this point, the ones that have gotten there, I think the other ones just didn't put it all together in their nights. But the ones that are there, they showed us everything that we've seen in the games. They showed us on the podcast.
And Richard said, where you mentioned the power, he's like, in my conditioning, when I hit you in the first round, it might not be powerful then, but I'm going to carry that. I'm in such good condition. It might hurt in the later round because I'm going to be there. But yeah, so no,
there's a Russian fighter at super heavyweight.
Hey, this is America.
He's great.
What's his name? Iman Kata.
Jumper.
I know his name's like Iman Kata something. Hold on.
He is great.
Ah, look at you.
I'm sorry, but he great. One of the best fighters I've seen in the games.
Right.
This dude, he don't want to be physical. And he boxes. So he's a big dude and he boxes. And so I saw in the match that I did watch of his, when the dude got up close and wanted to hold and tussle and grab and stuff like that, I see this Russian dude like tapping him on the back of the head almost to say, let's break. We shouldn't be here. But it's not that he's uncomfortable. He just wants to box from the outside. And so he'll do his thing. When you get too close, he not doing all this. He's not gonna do all this. He's gonna tap you on the back. He gonna look at the ref like, hey, break this up. And then when you get back to the outside, he got some skills. He got some speed.
Hey, Sean,
power.
Imam Katayev. Knew something like that. Imam Katayev or something like that. Imam. I'm not getting the pronunciation right, probably.
That's a long word.
Yeah.
Come on, Carson.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Because I feel like we commentated his fight yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think we should get hung up on this. We'll drop it.
Good call, moderator.
Yeah. At this point, you will have seen the name. We'll try to make sure to include it.
Right. So it's been a great experience. I think that's probably a lot of my excitement comes from that. I've been able to work with Kenny Rice. Shout out to him. Shout out to Jake. Jake is the guy.
Yeah, Jake Donovan.
Jake Donovan is the guy. He's doing all of our research so that we're prepared on fight night. He shot me some stuff just so that I can be prepared to do this. And he's real even kill all the way across the board. You know what I mean? He just kick it with him and have some fun. He'll talk sports. He'll talk boxing. He'll talk movies, whatever. So family. I've talked family. I've had a great time out here with both those gentlemen. And I got to give a shout out to my producer, Dave Harmon. It's my first time working with Dave. We were supposed to do the Triller card, Cambosis and Lopez.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, man. Happy belated to Tio. And we're not sure if we'll be able to work together on that one, but to be able to work together on this one is cool. Tons of experience. He's produced a lot of the fights on HBO, probably over before they made their exit in boxing. The last 20 to 30 years, he was a part of all of that. So I've gotten a lot of great experience. And, if anybody's saying they love what I do and all that, I'm only going to get better. So, and
to anyone that doesn't like amateur boxing or the Olympics, sorry you've hated the episode to this point, but that's how it goes. So
here's the thing, because I said this before, this is the future of boxing.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I know one of the Charlo brothers has that as his hold, his Instagram hold and all that. But like, that's what this is. This is
very true.
This is the future of boxing. So I'm giving y'all,
especially somebody like Keyshawn, like he's in professional boxing already.
What y'all are going to see in the next 5 to 10 years, you're getting it right now.
Yeah.
So I want everybody to support it and understand that, you catching these guys. So here's the separation. Everybody talks about why isn't boxing as popular as football and basketball, baseball, so on and so forth. And the big reason for that is because you can get connected to those athletes when they're in high school. some of them athletes, that much of them, you get connected to them in middle school. And so once you get that connection, you know who they are. You follow them in high school. You follow them in college. As soon as they turn pro, you follow them. And you with them for years. You don't have that opportunity for boxing. Boxing doesn't have the opportunity. And so I'm opening up this platform to be able to do that. And not only that, I'm going to do the best I can for the amateurs to expose them to the public so that when they do turn pro, they actually have a fan base. And it's not starting from ground zero.
Yeah, because
this is hard.
Yeah, the Olympics is one of the few times you can just readily see amateur boxing no matter where you are.
Yeah. Yeah,
I guess it's kind of like, March Madness, the bowl games or the national title games in college football,
Absolutely.
It's like been tons of fighters or ball players that we didn't see before the bowl. And then after the bowl, we're like, oh, he should be next.
Yeah. That's what's happening here. And again, like I said, there's not a ton of, elite top level boxing right now. But anything of note from you guys on we had DAZN fights yesterday.
Johnny Rice did his thing.
Yeah, Johnny Rice did his thing.
Buster Douglas Jr.
Hey, my man, those are dance after the fight, classic. My man dancing out. Sean, it's me after I knock somebody out.
Hopefully they showing it right now.
Yeah, he was getting down.
Hey,
also look kind of like.
Hold up, was it you? Because you got two left feet.
Hey,
and we both know that.
Hey, Sean.
It was you.
It was a great performance, and he was a replacement fighter, but said I wasn't a replacement fighter.
Oh man,
I was ready when my opportunity was called. Like I said, it looked like kind of like he was wearing a diaper, but that's not his fault.
All credit to him. He came ready to fight, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Bones Adams out here in Vegas. Who trained him out here in Vegas. Good job, man. And Johnny Rice. If ever there was a name for an upset fighter. A guy that you just tripped up on your. It's a guy like Johnny Rice.
Yes. Can you do it again?
Depends on who fights.
Damn.
I'm saying, like, all right. So then let me ask you this. I'll put this on the table, but are we done with Coffie right now, or was it just a night for him?
But.
I want to see Coffee again.
I said, well, it's the afternoon, so I'm more of a morning coffee man. But
but you can eat some rice for dinner.
That's true.
What the hell?
I wouldn't say I'm not done with him, but it was a disappointing performance.
He didn't show much.
Yeah,
although he didn't connect, but I could see the guy could definitely punch, especially with that left hand, Michael Coffie. But he just didn't show much, Sean. He wasn't able to get out of the way or nothing.
Mm-mm.
He didn't turn it up in terms of his own offense. It was he allowed himself to be a punching bag in there. So that fight was all about Johnny Rice. And so
did he speak after the fight? Coffee?
No.
Okay, so because I'm wondering if there's any reason.
He's definitely a strong guy. He could punch.
Yeah.
I like Coffee. I mean, I didn't expect to hear this about the fight. I heard about it earlier, but I wasn't expecting to hear it.
Yeah, I guess when you say you don't, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't look at that fight. No, I know what you mean, but I don't look at either of those guys like, could they beat Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Joshua? They're just kind of like good heavyweight fighters. Like I don't know. I didn't hold it to a.
They're like on the level of Big Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard not to.
Who knows? But
it's so hard not to rush fighters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my main thing is, like I said about Keyshawn Davis. He's saying, yo, I heard what Rolly said. Tell him when we can make the fight, I'm gonna fight him next. And I know his heart is like, I'm going after this Cuban fighter. I'm 0-3 against him. I gotta beat him this time. His confidence is high. He feels like he can win the fight. And with all that being said, he don't want nobody disrespecting him publicly, saying that he's not gonna beat the dude. And I get Rolly's side of it. Rolly his heart is in Cuba, so I get
he's
that.
Rolly.
But and he's Rolly. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell Keyshawn, keep it moving. That it ain't time for that. You don't know the business yet, so in your mind, you think it's time for it. But just take your time, learn, develop, grow into your man strength that you already have much of right now, and take on whoever it is when you're ready. But at the same time, when I'm wanting all these fighters to be patient, it's like it's really hard to not rush these fighters to we call it greatness, but to the big matches,
And besides, it's not good. That fight's not going to happen anyways. Fights such as those aren't going to happen anyways. Yeah. But it's good. It's good to guys like me that'll interview you and to the media channels to give us the names that we want for the quotes. But in the meantime, what Shawn's saying is the reality of it. And, those fights ain't really going to happen until they're more or less meant to happen. And, you're just better off developing against whoever they put in front of you and just getting better and better as a fighter. But when you talk to me, Keyshawn, keep telling me you want to beat up Roman.
Hey, speaking of fights not happening, are we getting a big fight? Any Shawn? Are we getting a big fight?
What fight?
Plant Canelo. Are we getting it? What's going on?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Terrence. I was like,
no, we're not talking about that.
Ant with like the most vague, like, hey, are we getting the fight? It's like,
no, that's a big fight.
The first one that came to mind was Wilder Fury.
Damn, everybody has something else.
Because you get the vague ass statement.
Hey, man, that's a big fight. Canelo Plant.
That's a big fight, man. We obviously we all want to see it.
It sucks if we lose it.
Yeah.
And you never know how negotiations actually happen. The fact that Caleb pretty much was like, I have the receipts makes me, I believe Caleb naturally because we know Caleb, but usually you don't say, hey, I have the paperwork or I have the receipts if you don't have those and you're on shaky ground. But yeah, it seems like they went into it and were pretty much saying, hey, that works. I'm good with this. I'm good with that. And then at some point it just got a little too ridiculous with the request, kind of the Cliff Notes version.
On my behalf, I don't know nothing about the business of boxing. Right. I want Canelo, no matter what you offer me, I would have signed it. But then again, I don't know the business of boxing.
Right.
Yeah. So this is just a fan speaking. So I could be like, Anthony, you don't know what the fuck they're offering.
But I'm happy you said that, Ant, because you're a fan, and that's at the end of the day,
Yeah.
But and so, irregardless of the receipts that Carson's talking about, and we could get into whether did Canelo really demand too much, and I know some people will say yes, some people say no, but irregardless of all of that, the way it's going to come off to the fan, to the boxing fan, the casual fan, whomever considers themselves a fan of boxing, is it's going to look bad on Canelo-Plant because of what Ant just said. Is you mean $10 million and you didn't get in the ring and fight him? Who cares what else his demands were? And when one guy has fought, and I like Canelo-Plant, I was the guy on here saying he's going to be a lot tougher than a Billy Joe Saunders. I've been in the media rooms with media members telling them that, and they try to play it down. Mm-hmm. But that said, when one man has fought the best fighters in the world, a dozen or so of them, from Cotto to the Golovkin to Mayweather to Lara to Jake.
His resume is crazy.
Yeah.
It's
his word against your word. And in this case, he's the police with the badge.
Right.
He's the one with even if it's right or wrong, his word's going to win out.
Caleb even more now.
But you get the metaphor I'm going with there is whether it's right or wrong, his word's going to defeat yours because of the certification he has, because of his resume and his accomplishments. And by the way, if he turns this way and fights Dimitri Bivol, I don't know if that's an easier fight. You can say that's a tougher fight. Yeah.
I'm like, Shawn keeps saying this is not an easy fight. Everybody's like, you're just going to fight this easy fight. I'm like, everything I've been hearing is like, this is a tough fight.
The one I really tough fight. The one
which is him taking a tougher fight or the same level of fight for less money, which allows you to say, well, what are you doing, Canelo? Why would you want to fight this guy for less money who's just as tough and move up 7 pounds? So I get it. There's a lot to be said, but I made my point, I guess, along.
I don't want to see. I don't mind the Bivol fight. Like we said, that's by no means an easy fight. The weight, I don't know where they would land on that. I think there was even some discussion of Bivol would go to 68. But I don't want to see Triple G and Canelo again. I just don't.
No,
and
I don't.
I know people feel differently about that. Some people are like, hell yeah, it's a great fight. Like still, I'm like, nah, I don't care. I don't care to see that at all.
Yeah, I think Canelo stops Triple G these days.
Yeah, Triple G hasn't looked good recently. Like he's looked okay.
Problem with that is to the casual fan, they know Triple G.
Right.
And to them, it's Canelo Triple G3. Yeah. And they lack the context we have. That Golovkin's got older, he hasn't looked as good. And to them, it's just Canelo Triple G3. So it's still a sellable fight.
I mean,
but I'd rather see Plant.
What else do we got? Charlo. I don't know.
But if he's not going to do business with Plant, he's not going to fight Benavidez or Charlo either.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm not doing business with PBC ever again, almost.
That would be terrible for us because all the big fight, all the real fights we want to see him in.
All this shit is terrible for us already. We're already hurt. Okay, we're already hurt. Get the deal done. Talking to all y'all.
Yeah. It's just it's one of those. You talk about it just being bad for all of us. Like, I mean, everyone wants to see that fight. Like, even people that don't think maybe Caleb's that guy or that Caleb will test them. Like, people want to see the fight, and Canelo has been ringing this, unification, undisputed thing, and then you have the opportunity to, and maybe you do too much in negotiations. I don't know. I hope somehow this is like the Undertaker and rises up out of the coffin and makes it happen. But
next Saturday and next week it's going to be official, Carson. Next week, it's official. So?
I'm down.
No,
and they don't got to fight in September. Like Canelo hasn't fought in September since 2018 against Triple G. Yeah. So if it's a matter of there's not enough time left between, it's like, man, y'all just push that shit back to November then.
Yeah.
If that's what it takes, if you need more time to get a deal done.
Hey, Shawn, only if it was that easy.
Only if it was that easy.
Could this end up being what you? So when we talked about Caleb before, where we said maybe there's a go between from where he's fought Truax, Uzcategui, those guys.
Mike Lee, baby.
Well, now do you see him maybe fight Anthony Durrell, which is something that was kind of bantered about? Is it maybe now the opportunity you wanted isn't there, the opportunity we wanted wasn't there, but now in the long run it might be better because now he can maybe fight somebody like Anthony Durrell. I think that's a good fight.
I think
not great, but good.
It seems to me, I'm on the outside looking in, very far on the outside, from the outside looking in, and to me it seems like when the negotiations and the fight falls apart and it's not directly your fault, then when you move forward and you have another fight, there's really no ill or no heavy eyes looking at you, opposed to if you denied the fight, you turned down the fight with Canelo to have a fight with Anthony Durrell, or to have a fight with, one of the other 168s out there. I think this way, there's nothing that makes Caleb look bad. And think having the opportunity to say, okay, we'll come back to this when things are better for us. If that is the conversation that's had collectively, I think that's a good move. And I think that makes it sounds better. It's good for him because it does afford him an opportunity to get in the ring with somebody else. He is coming from an injury, get whatever cobwebs out, get back in the ring and get back seen by the public eye and things like that. And maybe another performance would spark a fight with Canelo more than it's been sparked to this point. Yeah. To this point, it's just the fact that he has the IBF title, and there's no disrespect, but if he does something great, whether that is Anthony Durrell or another 168 out there, and he's able to hold both arms out and say, "Hey, I'm ready." If you didn't think I was ready, what about now? Nobody can deny that then, So I think it's a good situation for him.
And negotiations if they don't come to fruition, it's not always contentious. Like if Ant and I negotiate about something right now, we don't come to an agreement. That's not to say Ant and I hate each other, won't work together. Like sometimes things just don't line up at that time. So
I think we all. But I think, and us being human, when we see something fall apart, it's just like if the chair falls apart, you're looking at you like, oh no. Well, if you take your time, you figure out what fell apart and you start to build it back up, you got a brand new chair right there and it works, So I think we as humans, we just kind of, when we hear the news or we see the news, we instantly go to, oh no, it's never going to happen again. Well, maybe they'll just take their time and they'll build up that chair again and it'll be much stronger the next time they build it up.
And I was thinking a good way for PBC to build up this fight. What about Benavidez fighting Caleb's?
There's people who want to see that fight more than Canelo and Canelo and Benavidez.
Yeah, his former opponents. And if Caleb fights Durrell, that's one of David's former opponents.
Mm-hmm.
You get this in the early spring. Winner gets Canelo. That's an even bigger fight.
Yeah.
I'll pay $200 to see that fight.
I'll
give double the pay-per-view.
There's a way to look at it, like Ant said. There's a way to look at it as a positive of positioning and how it could end up. Just the money might make more sense, and the hype and everything. But
yeah, and I wanted to say that about the business side of it. When we talk about negotiations, I think everybody's mind goes straight to the money and thinks that that's all that's involved, but it's not. You negotiating the network that you're gonna fight on, the specific day that you're gonna fight on. Now you got to negotiate the venue that you're gonna fight at, and fight purses and sponsor money and endorsement and all that kind of stuff. And it becomes a long negotiation. But the best part about it is you're having these negotiations. I mean, you could not be having these negotiations or have somebody not doing this type of work for you. And what does that say about you as a fighter? You haven't made it, So for the negotiations to be there, and hopefully they come through, if not sooner. I think that benefits Canelo-Plant. I do think that he won't lose to anyone before he gets in the ring with Canelo. I think the fight with Benavidez, yes, is like a great, phenomenal fight. And I think that's one of those fights that, whoever wins that fight separates himself and goes on to fight Canelo. But outside of Benavidez, I don't really see too many people out there that can beat Canelo-Plant. So it's about him being healthy and producing.
Well, along the lines of what Carson said, about him getting a chance to build his skills and his name. I mean, all along, people really have wanted to see him and David fight to earn that Canelo fight. And, we might be here a year from now and Plant Canelo is really a super fight as compared to a big fight because maybe he beats a David Benavidez in the spring. And now, because whoever wins that fight is going to be a star.
I do want to see that fight.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That could turn into a 60-40 split.
Some bad blood in that fight.
I want to see that fight.
Contrasting style.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I'm excited.
I'll pay big money for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Double the pay-per-view price. I'll do it.
So speaking of paying big money for a fight, one thing I just want to mention briefly. So the next pay-per-view we have Errol and Manny coming up. So the first I heard of this.
I'm working.
Shout out. Yeah. No, shout
out.
Working it? Yeah, no, he's working it. Yeah. I'll be watching it with Ant.
Sean.
But
hey,
shout out to
down to fight. I'll fight for in my house.
Yeah, no, I'll be there. But shout out to the Chicken Talks on Twitter. Shout out to my guy Lefty. But the first I heard of the undercard on that was in there, and then Mike Coppinger reported it.
Carson.
One of the worst undercards.
Carson.
Hold on. Yeah, no, don't do that.
That's fine.
They're all bad.
This is Shawn. This is not Shawn Porter saying this or PBC. This is Carson Merck saying this.
Yeah, Shawn, would you explain him the whole situation?
No, I understand the situation. You pay those guys the big money. I understand that, but the undercard is brutal. Who do
you want? They can't afford nobody else. That's a business of box.
And Robert Guerrero is fighting Victor Ortiz.
He's cheap. He's cheap. You think I pay my laborers at my job the same thing I pay my boss?
And your Dennis Ugas defending his title, which I'm excited about.
Okay.
Against Maidana, and you're like, ooh, Maidana coming back?
No,
it's his brother.
You childish. You're childish.
No.
How old is it? Do we know how old his brother is? His brother?
I know nothing of him.
Like 23, something like that.
So nevertheless.
I saw him fight on your undercard against Danny.
Yeah, I remember.
But so touching yesterday, so on DAZN, Lee Wood upset win over Kanzu. Granados and Ben weren't able to fight because of a positive COVID test for Conor Ben. But there's a lot of fights coming up this next week. Anything of interest to any of you particularly, other than the Locks versus Dipset? We got Michael Hunter, Mike Wilson, Chris Algieri's back.
Chris Algieri.
There's another DAZN card.
Chris
Galahad.
He's back in the ring?
Yes, we talked about this. We talked about this.
He's the co-main on Tuesday.
Yeah, we said
when people are hearing this, Chris Algieri is fighting tonight.
Hey, it's over. He's knocking somebody out.
I'm not going to go as far as to say that.
Come on, Carson.
Chris got a great boxing mind.
I didn't tell him, and I was just on the phone with him for about an hour a couple of days ago, and I didn't tell him about we about to let him out the bag,
out of the cage,
let him out the cage, that thing. But I kept thinking about it, like I was like, don't do it. I didn't think he was getting back in the ring, and he didn't say nothing, so I didn't know.
Speaking of another guy getting back in the ring,
Carson, come on, man.
You ready for this?
So
August 7th, so this coming weekend on the Fox card on PBC. I think there's been some shuffling due to COVID stuff, and the main event I think is a TBD right now as far as one of the opponents. But Stanionis fights Collazo in the co-main.
Oh, Collazo!
Not a terrible
Brooklyn.
matchup. Yeah, so Collazo's back. Another name drop is back.
Okay.
Devin Alexander.
Oh, y'all see that?
Yeah.
Hey,
who is Devin in the ring with?
Oh, who is Devin?
With Lucas Santamaria.
I wonder, is this something to read into? Because those three names, I thought like essentially we weren't going to see them anymore. No disrespect. Yeah. There was certainly no disrespect to Devin. I mean, I think out of the three names, he's the one that we would probably expect to come back before any of the others. But I really didn't expect to really see those guys back in the ring.
Yeah, they're back.
I love me some Louis Collazo, man.
Devin's had some struggles in his last few fights, and Louis just been out of the ring forever. And he's getting in the ring with Stanionis.
And he said he was going to retire, and then apparently the right opportunity came.
But that's classic Louis right there.
Yeah,
to get in the ring with Stanionis, like that's
he'll fight anybody in his day when he had his legs, and that's he was pretty good.
That's what people love about boxing. And I think those type of athletes in boxing is what brings people back to the sport.
Like the Chris Algieris?
Not Chris, Lou. Well, because the reason why I said not Chris, but Lou, because Louis Collazo is one of those fighters. He's kind of one of those anytime, any day.
He's a
type
throwback.
Of fighters, anywhere, a throwback, and people love the throwback. So Chris ain't no throwback fighter. He just
no.
Great fighter, and like Zittel,
that's my dude, man.
Just to amplify that, great boxing mind.
I'm gonna go ahead and
listen to him talk boxing for a while.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I told him, I said, hey, once you do this, like, let's get you on the show and we'll pub it and all that kind of stuff. But Chris is about to write a book. He's been working on it for some time now. And
Chris Algieri, Out of the Cage.
Chris Algieri is the guy.
Carson.
But that's an awesome book title.
100%. So Chris, if you hear and you're looking for a title still, I got you.
He's writing a book, and it basically the synopsis is he's interviewing fighters based on our experiences at the championship level, what we go through physically, mentally, before, during, and after fights. Our experiences and things like that. So it's fitting that it's him doing this. You know what I mean? Anybody that knows Chris knows that he's very professional, very educated,
intelligent guy.
Yeah, very intelligent guy. And he loves the sport of boxing. Anybody that doesn't know, he came into this late, but he had some athletic abilities, and he turned it into something and was able to do a whole lot in a short period of time. Yeah, and that's pretty much why he's my guy, because he's the dude.
Very sharp dude. Very sharp dude.
Yeah, keep your girl from Chris these days, man. Now he's not fighting as much. He got his GQ going on now.
Oh, I'm about to say.
He's getting married, so relax.
Okay.
Good. We're safe then. We're good. We're safe.
I go get Manny Pacquiao.
Hold on.
Early congrats.
He's kind of getting ready for something right now. He's a little busy right now.
Yeah, very true.
Hey, people, when I was over in the Philippines, it bugged me the hell out of me. People would always say, once they found out that I was working out with Manny, their thing was, "Oh, hi, Shawn Porter. Where's Manny Pacquiao?" Yeah.
But that's what Ant and I get with you.
Yes. People ask me, "Hey, where's Shawn at?"
Where's Shawn at?
Oh,
yeah.
Why?
Where's Shawn at?
Where's Shawn at? People have asked me, "Hey, where's Carson?" I'm like,
come on.
Like, I don't know. Hey, but they don't ask my Shawn, I'll tell you. But Shawn, you're the main one. They ask me, they be asking me personal questions. Like, I'm gonna give it to you. I'll be like, I don't know.
I got a couple classics now. I've always loved how fans would approach me like we're great friends and like they've known me for a long time. A lot of fans will be like, "Yo, Showtime, what's up?" I'm like, "That's tight. Like, that's cool." But out here in Connecticut, going to the gyms I've been going to, went to one gym, and this kid was at the gym, and he saw me training, and everybody started to whisper that I was at the gym and everything. I'm working with John Iceman Scully. He walks up to Scully and he says, "Is that the real Shawn Porter?" And I was like, I looked at him, I said, "Yeah."
He's like, "No, that's Kareem Mayfield."
Coach said,
Fake ass
Scully
Shawn Porter.
said, you should ask him. And he said, are you the real Shawn Porter? I said, man, as far as I know, it's only one of us. So, and then he was like, oh man, so it's been great, man, being out there.
That's amazing, Sean.
Yeah. But then you get knuckleheads. Like it was a knucklehead. It was a knucklehead. Went out to breakfast with the family before I left. And he waves me over. And I'm like, give me a minute. He can't wait.
So you come to me.
He come over and talking to me, and we, we just kind of, chopping. And he said, I'm from Cleveland, right? I said, I wasn't thinking. I said, how am I supposed to know that?
Right. Pulled out his ID.
Yeah.
See, look, East Cleveland right here.
Yeah. So, but it goes down, man. And I love it every time it goes down.
You should mix it up from time to time and say you're Kareem Mayfield. Like somebody's like, wait, are you Shawn Porter? You're like,
can't do that.
Kareem Mayfield. They'll be like,
can't do
man.
that.
I did have somebody ask, can you FaceTime him? I said, I got a droid.
Oh man,
hey, that worked out. That works out well.
Yeah. I was like, I can't, man. I'm sorry.
Sorry, can't do it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna watch a lot of boxing on Saturday.
I'm gonna FaceTime you one day with a random person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, he gonna be pissed.
My dad do it. I don't answer when my dad go out of town. I don't answer the phone.
Oh, because that's okay.
I already know what time it is.
Chill out. Your dad gonna watch.
No, I don't care. And you already know because we had this conversation.
A quick shout out to Joey Spencer, man. He did his thing too over the weekend.
Oh yeah, he got it done with a fill-in opponent. That was okay.
Did he look as good as y'all been wanting to expect?
No, he still ain't impressed me. I'm like Carson. I still need more.
That's why when Zittel said that, they were towards the end of the show, so I wasn't gonna harp on it. But he's still young. I mean, he's 21, so it's tough for me to be overly critical. I just haven't seen it yet. We kind of mentioned the same thing with Brandon Figueroa, where it's like they keep talking about him and you want to see it. And Figueroa showed us against Neary, so maybe at some point Spencer will show it to me. But I just haven't seen like that it factor yet from him.
He showed defense and explosiveness, but I think for him it's more about getting the numbers up there. As simple and as basic as that sounds. Let your hands go more. You're a fast, powerful kid. You're making the other man miss. Step on that gas.
Not a lot of fun to watch, like just visually. He's good though, but he's just not like nobody's like, oh man, I can't wait to see that Joey Spencer fight. Like,
he's definitely a boring.
Got to put it together so far.
Hey, Lowe's hopefully won't end up on nobody's sister's IG. So
very, very true.
What?
Yeah, I got it. He was talking about.
All right.
Hey, we quick around here, man. We over it.
Oh, okay.
But I think that to close on, I think the DAZN card is going to be solid this weekend. Another one at Eddie Hearn's backyard, Fight Camp 2.
In the backyard.
Yeah, Kid Galahad, Jazza Dickinson, and that's a.
What you think? They put down a big tarp and then just build it up?
If you didn't know what it was, like
it's really in his backyard.
So it's like So it is.
That's crazy.
He fronting on the world. That's
okay.
He fronting on the world.
Like,
that's Eddie Hearn.
Like if you just saw if you just saw like the venue, you'd be like, man, that looks great. And then you're like, it's just like in his backyard. But Ebony Bridges is back. Fan of the podcast. Have to on at some point. She's back on there.
A fight hype favorite, Ebony Bridges.
Alan Babick he's a big, huge son of a gun. He's on there, so I'll definitely be watching a lot of. I'll probably tune into that. You know how those DAZN cards? You sit there, you turn it on at 10 a.m. here, and all of a sudden you look up and it's 5:30, and I'm like, where the hell have I been? Yeah.
So nobody on the Halo beta tonight, I assume. No. Okay. That's what your boy Sean is doing, Porterway fans.
Hey, Porterway fans, what you on Xbox?
That's right.
Put your gamer tag in the comments so he can add you. You'll add him? All right, he gonna add you. Hey,
it's like that? You nice like that?
Hey, okay, Zittel, what's your gamer tag?
They call him Master Chief over there on Fight Hype.
So that's right. But real quick lame story. My name is Bounden, BOUNDEN K97. And it's because my OG gamer tag, they wouldn't let me recover it. So it was Sechzyual Beast, but I spelled it in a way that got across the censors. It was SECHZYUAL. Sechzyual Beast. But they had to ban your boy's gamer tag.
Rightfully so. Yeah. I don't often agree with the censorship, but I agree in this case.
Hey, get the music going.
Yeah, start the music.
Hey, drop your gamer tags.
And feel free. Who do you think is going to win? Feel free. Who's picking? Dipset versus the Locks. SP.
Dipset.
Oh. Locks.
Ant's going Dipset. I'm going to Locks as well.
One of my favorite rappers is SP, but I gotta go with Dipset. Because Jim Jones is one of my favorite rappers too.
You picking hits over lyrical ability. That makes sense. I hear you.
It'll be fun though. It'll be fun. I'll be tuned in.
All right, y'all. That's the Porter way.
Was that Jadakiss sound he used to do?
That sounds like Bart Simpson. I don't know what that
I got your girl ran in the room.
I was like, hold on.
It sounded like a cockatoo or something. I don't know what the hell that was.
Because you stepped on a cat.
Give it to him, Carson. Go ahead, Carson.
Oh, I don't have. I'm not Jadakiss. The only thing that came to mind was they say 2 is better than 1. There's 3 of the Locks. So my pick is the Locks.
Boom.
All about the Benz.
What you talking about? It's 3. It's 3 on 3.
That's what you just
Cameron, Jim Jones, Joel Santana.
Hellrail. Was Hellrail on Dipset?
Man, he got beat up at the
J.R. Ryder.
Man, they out, man. Come on, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This would be a good
man,
time.
Let's end this damn show. What are we talking about?
Bye.
What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG, Ant with 2 T's.
This is the Porter Way Podcast. This is Anthony Brunel, and this is Carson A. Merck. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porter Way Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're gonna do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brennall.
Carson A. Merck. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.